Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the garage, and welcome to working on Veronica's exhaust part 2. So last time, if you guys saw the last episode, we put new stainless steel headers on the truck. They fought us a little bit. We had to end up jacking the motor from side to side in order to get them to fit, but they ended up fitting. Everything seems nice. Very good fit and finish on those, despite the only issues with the headers were they gave us the wrong size bolts, which sucked. And we had to jack the motor. I was trying to clearance them originally. It just didn't work out. But, you know, so is how things go with long tube headers. Bashing in a header to get it to fit is nothing new. Not that we did anything terrible to it. We just kind of oblonged it a little. But we ended up not having to do that. But anyway, if you haven't seen that, check that out. So today we're going to be finishing that little project. And that all is in this box right here. So we'll get this opened up and then we will start and try and get this job done. Alright, so we got our box, we got our exhaust tubes, we got our instructions to tell us that the muffler goes towards the front of the vehicle. We put pipe 2 to pipe 2 and pipe 1 to pipe 1. Nice chrome tips, you know, just something very basic. Box of miscellaneous clamps and hangers, all the kind of standard stuff you'd expect. And then here, the muffler for this thing. This is actually a MagnaFlow muffler. This is a 3-inch to 2.5 inch outlets. I like the MagnaFlow sound on this setup so much, I decided to go with another MagnaFlow. This is just another cheap Amazon or eBay pipe kit. You know, it's probably going to take a little bit of fabrication, nothing too crazy. I think this might even be the same one that I used for these tailpipes right here. Like I said, we're just kind of starting fresh and just throwing that all in the trash. But you can get these kits with or without tips, with black tips. I mean, really, honestly, best bet's probably just get your own tips if you want something in particular. Me, I didn't care. I just wanted one of these slash cuts, so I figured why not. And muffler, you can get it with, you know, a glass pack. You can get it with a Super 40 Flowmaster or a Delta Flow or whatever you need. I decided to go with the MagnaFlow because I like the sound of it. Now, before we get into installing this on our long tube header setup, we're going to come back here. And while we have access, we're going to remove my train horns. They haven't been in operation for quite some time. Well, other than for a bee's nest. But we're going to pull that out while we have this room and just drop them down. I don't really have any plans for them yet. Maybe see if they work here down the road, but I just want to get rid of them while they're there. Like I said, I have no intentions of putting them back on this truck, but then again, never say never. So we'll get them down and get our exhaust on. Alright, so our Leslie train horns are out. These massive pipes, they were very stubborn to get out. What a pain. I also got cleaned up on the back end of the truck. There was a couple of brackets from different exhaust systems that we had that were tacked in there or welded in. Well, they're welded in poorly. But that brings me to another issue. So I started looking at the exhaust, figured we're going to work from the front back and try and figure that all out when I found our first problem for tonight. So looking at our Y pipe, I was trying to get this all where I want it before we go ahead and put the exhaust together, so that way we can kind of mate everything up to it. And actually, I think I'm going to see if I can run out and get some band clamps. I imagine Vance is still open. Hopefully they have some. But anyhow, so here's the problem. When I put this together when I started fiddling with it, first off, the pipe here came out of the Y. And I was like, well, what's going on here? So when I put it together last night, I got it all together and I didn't see any issue. But if we look here, like this pipe is tight. It's all the way up. But this pipe here, there's a gap. So I can make this pipe go into, if I fiddle it all around, I can make it go into the Y. But then we have like no engagement on the Y and no engagement on our long tube header up front here. So what I got to do, So what I got to do is actually take 4 inches out of this tube here. So we're going to have to take that out, and I think what I'm going to try and do is do it right here because this seems like a pretty straight shot. So we're going to have to take like 4 inches out of this, weld this back together. I believe I do have stainless rod. We won't be back purging it because I'm not really set up for that. Not that it really matters for this application. So anyway, I'll see if I can get some band clamps, which we'll need 1 for each header, 1 joint here, 1 joint there. So we're going to need 4 or 5 of them, and we will get this Y pipe sorted out, and then we will get our exhaust in and ran. So, since I last talked to you guys, we've put the pipes underneath the truck. I originally put the muffler right on the Y pipe. Well, our exhaust system's basically cat back. So, cut your factory exhaust, blah, blah, blah. The problem is we don't have factory stuff in the middle. So, the exhaust needs to go back. So all the angles and the humps are over top of the rear axle. So I figured, all right, not a problem. I found a piece of 3-inch pipe that I have left over from other projects. So I was like, all right, I'll figure it all out, and we'll get the back portion figured out, and then I'll cut this to length, whatever we need. Well, the problem is the Y pipe is 3-inch OD, and the muffler's 3-inch ID. So the muffler would go right on the Y pipe, but there's no way to couple this to our Y pipe without welding it, which I really don't want to do because the Y pipe's stainless. Needless to say, with everything moving all around, even with the jack stands, I'm just getting frustrated because we turn one pipe, then the muffler wants to move, and it slides off the jack stand. Really what we need to do is get a coupler for here for our pipe, and then we can work it back. Also, I told you guys we were going to go to Advance and get some of them band clamps for the Y pipe. Well, they have them. You know, I looked online. They got them in stock, all that. The problem is, with everything going on in the world, even though it's a Friday night, they're only open till like 7 or 7:30, which it was past then when I got done talking to you guys. I was going to go right over there. So needless to say, what we need to do is just start from the front of the truck, get the Y pipe all cinched up, then work backwards. That way we have a firm point to work off of. Everything's just moving around too much, and with one set of hands, I think even with 2 sets, it would be a pain. So we're going to adjourn until tomorrow when we can get a 3-inch coupler and some 3-inch band clamps. So guys, it is day 2 of our header back exhaust install, if you will. I got a bunch of band clamps, 3-inch band clamps, and a 3-inch adapter, so that way we can adapt back from our Y pipe to our muffler and all that. Like I said last night, everything's just being loose, isn't working. So we're going to start by cinching up the headers, then the Y pipe, then we can measure and get our muffler and finish the exhaust on Veronica. Like I said, didn't have these parts last night, but now we do, so let's get to it. So guys, as you can see, it is much later in the day. The sun's starting to go down and our exhaust is done. So looking at it from the back, we have our two tips there. I'm very happy with it. They're equally spaced just on the outside of the hitch there. I also have them kind of tucked in so they kind of follow the bumper line and follow the bumper down. I did fix our bumper. Our bumper was kind of leaning down. I don't know why. I don't remember ever doing anything, but got that all back up in place. So as far as the exhaust goes, what we did, so as far as our exhaust goes, I tightened up the Y pipe, got that all right, got our connector in there, used all these band clamps so that way our stainless Y pipe isn't dented. We can take it apart if we have to. Got a hanger up here, bolted that cross member. Then we have our muffler. What I did was for this piece, I got this all clamped in and I figured out exactly where over the axle those tubes needed to be. Lined everything up, took a measurement, and got our muffler and all that mounted. So, like I said, I got those up over the axle, you know, so with the suspension travel, our exhaust isn't hitting. This tube right here, as you can see, we have a weld joint. I had to take like 7 inches out of that. That thing was that far off. This kit, like I said, it's like a cheap Amazon exhaust kit. It fits pretty good for what it is, but it does say, you know, fabrication required or whatever. It's a pretty generic kit. But anyway, took 7 inches out of that, welded that up. Then all the way out, got our tips welded on. The whole exhaust is nice and firm. Got a mount on either side back here. Everything's looking good. Everything's cinched up. There's just one last thing to do, and that's to start the truck. To her purr. She sounds great. Man. Yeah, nice, deep, throaty rumble. I like it. This thing is sounded awesome. Well, I would consider that to be a success. She's sounding good. With that MagnaFlow, it actually will get a little bit louder because the MagnaFlow has some packing material. It has some glass, fiberglass in it to deaden the sound a little bit. But overall, I'm happy with how it sounds. It's not as loud as it was, which probably could have used to be toned down. is plenty loud. It sounds good. It sounds great sitting here idling. It's quiet up front. No more exhaust leaks. After we run this thing a little bit, we will have to tighten up our exhaust manifolds, but I'm very happy with it. Finally, this truck has a quality exhaust on it. It's the first time in quite a few years that the exhaust has been tightened up. We didn't have any exhaust leaks or anything. I'm very happy with this whole setup. Everything went well. Took a good bit of time trying to get those pipes and had to cut them down, and then you had to cut the rear section down so you could get your tips on and all that, but I'm very happy with the result. So Veronica's new exhaust is completely installed, job done. I'm happy with the result. Cheap Amazon, rear pipes. No fabrication required, which is to be expected, but it all turned out great. It's actually a pretty decent kit if you can cut and weld and all that. Our headers, I dig the stainless headers. I'm glad they're real stainless. I'm so excited for that. And our Y pipe, they should be the last headers that this truck ever needs. But yeah, our exhaust turned out fine, or perfect. Our exhaust, man, getting tongue-tied. Our exhaust turned out great. I'm excited. Can't wait to drive this thing with that exhaust on there. I think it's going to sound great. Have a nice rumble to it, but not be too awful loud. Don't get me wrong. The old exhaust with the H pipe and all that, it sounded great too, but we just got it a little quieter. But everything is tightened up and good to go. So very happy with the results of this whole project. Trying to get this truck back to where she should be. Now, that being said, she does have some issues that we won't be addressing anytime in the near future, and that is basically the fender and the doors and all the rust. And when I was under the bed, well, she's going to need a bed. The cross members for the bed, they're rotting out too. So she needs doors, she needs a bed, she needs at least one fender. But all that stuff is not going to happen until I build or get a shop, because with the state of affairs of everything, with the race truck, which kind of has to live in here, when we have that project kind of buttoned up where it's race ready, we can move it in and out, and we can just put it over here on the side, and then my daily driver, like Caitlin right now, will go next to it, because I really do miss being able to get in a nice warm vehicle in the winter and all that. I really just want to have my daily driver back in the garage, which it's been quite a while. So until we get a shop, Veronica's going to have to continue to sit outside. So there's no sense in doing all this body work, doors, fenders, all that kind of stuff, until we can keep her inside, dry, warm, cool, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little project. I hope you guys are excited to get Veronica going. Let me know down in the comments what you think of the exhaust, how you like the sound and all that. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Catch you guys on the next one. Get out in your garage, get the wrenching on your truck.